purpose of this video is to highlight a potential tension in Aristotle's political thought. On the one hand, Aristotle thought the purpose of the state was in whole or in part to encourage certain kinds of good habits among its citizens, in particular to encourage virtue. Virtue here is understood as the classical virtues like wisdom, temperance, courage, charity, and so on and so forth. And it was inconceivable to Aristotle that a strong state with good laws would not be populated by strong, wise, virtuous citizens. The greatness of the state depended in great part or in totality on the greatness of the citizens inhabiting that state. Now, on the other hand, Aristotle also thought that virtue was only possible under conditions of freedom. It's only the case that where people are free that they can take responsibility for their actions, for being virtuous or not virtuous. That is to say, part and parcel of what it means to be virtuous is to have the opportunity to be vicious. If you're forced to be virtuous, if you're forced to give all your money to poor people, then you can't be held responsible for the virtue of charity. It's not you really giving money to poor people, it's whoever forced you to give money to poor people. And so the practice of virtue is only possible under conditions of freedom. So in order to create virtuous citizens, you had to provide an environment of freedom. But of course, in that environment of freedom, they were also going to have the opportunity to be vicious. And so this seems to be a little bit of a tension. On the one hand, the state is supposed to encourage virtue, but it can't force virtue. So it has to simply find a way to nudge people in the right direction without actually telling them what to do. But then that brings a further question of whether even the nudging itself is appropriate, right? If you're simply being encouraged or incentivized to do the good thing, then it's still not your good character that's doing the work. It's the state doing the work in producing the outcomes that are desired. And so this seems to be quite the dilemma for Aristotle. So my question to you guys is, how would you solve this dilemma?